Hi, this is Rony, and welcome to the YouTube Layout Hop for September. I am going to be creating this layout right here, and I am also going to be using my How to Kill a Kit with Style. And the theme for this month's hop is to recycle or upcycle. And I'm going to recycle, and I am going to use those Happy Life, the paper in the thickers, and I'm going to use it on my layout. And they look like brush strokes, and I am going to use that for that reason. And I'm not going to use most of the stuff that you're seeing there, but I am going to use over half of it anyway. I will fussy cut this out instead of just putting it down on the paper. And I'm going to put it to the left-hand side. And then, while I'm putting the second piece down, I'm going to remember that I was going to use a piece of paper from the kit to go underneath it. So I'm going to have to pull it up a little. And this is thin paper, so it's a little bit hard to pull up. Even putting the ATG tape on there, I tore one of those little pieces of green, just a little bit. It wasn't too bad. But, yeah, I had to be careful putting the adhesive on there, and so it does make it hard. See how gingerly I put that down? It is because I did not want it to stick, because that's about the time I remembered that I didn't have the paper down. And my intention was to use that whole piece, but I thought, boy, that's going to be hard to scooch that under there. So I'm going to cut it down a little bit so I can scooch it underneath the other paper, the recycled paper. Just a little bit, and still have that on there. It has a whole lot of different things on there, words, and I wanted them for my layout. I think Besties is on there too, and there isn't two kids in this picture, but I went ahead and used that paper anyway just because I liked it. I liked all the colors, same colors that are in the recycled paper, and I'm going to have both of the, have all those colors on my layout. And I did punch out a bunch of hearts from that teal green paper cardstock. And I'm going to put it on, see there's all the holes from punching them out. And I'm going to put it on that black cardstock. And I wanted it to pop just a little bit more out from all that colored paper that I have in the background. And I think I don't know if my picture's somehow not shaped just right or what, but I had a lot of trouble with this not being straight. The black will still look whiter up there at the top on the right than it does, but I held it up against the trimmer and it looked straight, so I didn't have anything to cut, so I didn't cut. And I'm going to put my title there. And I am going to have to do quite a bit of MacGyvering on it because I didn't have no E's left in there. But I took the F's and made them into E's, and a couple other letters I had to make from something else too. But I got it on there, and it says, when you want a new hairdo, but your penny bank is empty. I started to put piggy, but I put penny bank instead. And I am cutting that out, and it's something about she thought she could, and so she did. And it's full of color too. It has all the colors of the rainbow in it also. And of course her hair does. She has markers in her hair, and it's just as cute as it can be. And of course I had to scrap it. It's not the best picture in the world, but it is adorable no matter what, even if it is a little bit fuzzy. And I'm looking there to see what I can use out of there. And I'm just going to give 2 or 3 out, I think. And then I tried to use one of them because I put them in my case this month, so I'd be sure to use them. And no, I do not use any again. And it goes really good with the pinks that's on the layout. I just did not use any of them. And that's Boss Babe, and I am going to use that piece. And I'm looking at my stickers, trying to decide what I can and can't use, or what I like and don't like. I'm not sure, but I will pull several of them out. And they have some of the stickers on the sticker sheet have the white halo around them, and some don't. And like that one up in the upper right, Boss Babe, it's a piece of ephemera. It has no white halo, and some of these do. And like one of the cassettes for the cassette tape has a halo, and one don't. And you will see me switch it out because I was putting it down there, and I thought, oh, I need to cut part of this white halo off. I don't mind just a tiny bit when some have it and some don't, but I don't want it really wide. And it hit me. There was another one on the sheet that did have, it didn't have no white halo at all, so I pulled it out instead. And the only reason I'm leaving a tiny bit on these here is because of the antenna on that radio, and I did use the powder here. If you try to cut something out as intricate as that antenna, your scissors is going to stick to it, and it's going to be hard to cut it out. So I put the powder on there so that I could cut it out with the scissors easier. And I'm not going to stick. I thought about putting some foam tape behind it, but then I thought I'll have to put it behind the antenna too. So I am putting it on there, and I am putting the antenna so it goes right up that little piece of ephemera there that says gotta love this or something like that on it. And I decided to punch out a piece of black here. Since the photo has one of the mats is black, I wanted to add some more black down there in the bottom left, and I will make sure I have some up in the top right too. And I believe that even has a little bit of black on it where I'm putting the foam tape. Just a little bit because I did and cut it completely around there. Yeah, you can see it right there. But it's just a little bit. And my plan was to layer two doilies, a white one and a pink one. But I thought of it too late. I already had most of my title on there, and it did not fit. So I'm only going to have the pink. And I'm using wet glue to put it down, and you will see it move. And since that is slick, the recycled piece of paper, it moved and slid right back in place. So it was fine. It didn't stick that good, but it does stick later. And I'm going to put that back on and cover up part of the doily with it. And you can see the black there on the left-hand side towards the top and down towards the half. But yeah, I'm looking up there, and so I'm going to have to find some more things to go with it. And see, that has black on it, and I started to add it down at the bottom. It is a music sign, piece, emblem, whatever. And I am going to put it up there just to have some black up there. But then later I decide I don't have enough, so I will be peeling that piece that I have in my hand right now up and framing it in some black, just to add a little more black up there. And that's when I remember that there was a cassette tape that did not have any white around it, and pulled it off of the sticker sheet and put the other one back. I'll use it later, and I'll probably cut the white around there, but I thought as long as I have one that I don't have to cut the white around it, I will use it instead. And this matches down there at the bottom left. It says smile. This is just a star that matches it. It kind of has a rainbow with the star, and I do have a rainbow in my recycled piece too. And I'm adding black to this because I decided there wasn't enough black even with what I have on the layout to repeat. But yeah, I'm adding just a little more black. And I thought about adding it to the left of that little cluster down there at the bottom so that it'll come out to the left a little bit more. But it was a little bit too big, and I already had the black right there too. So I put it to the right, and I will add something else to the left of that smiley face blowing a heart kissed. And I'm putting stars on here, and I will have to go ahead and put some adhesive, some liquid glue behind some of them. Some stick pretty good and don't move hardly at all. Well, don't move at all. But some of them, every time I touched them, they moved. So I decided I better put some glue on those. And I'm looking at that sticker sheet again. And I am going to cut part of this out because I looked at that sticker sheet for a while. And I was like, huh, you would think I'd figure out something to use by now. And here I took the bottom of that and made just a little banner to come out from there, just to bring it to the left. And it's got some, like what they call white space caught right there. And I'm going to use that black diamond shape and just tuck it in right there to fill in that spot. And I still have the rest of that frame, so I'm going to try to figure out a way to use it. And I started to use that up there on the top, and I just didn't like how it was going. And so I changed my mind about that, and I will use it on the layout, yeah, right there, and I have to cut it down. And then that little bit that I cut out, I'm going to use up there in the upper right, so I'll be repeating that 3 times. And it's just like a little polka dot, but I will have it in all 3 places by the time I get done. And it looks kind of bare there without anything, so I am going to add a smiley face to it. I'm going to cut the bottom off and I tuck it under, and then I think I need to go over to the left a little bit more, so I will move over to the left so it's hanging off just a tiny bit on the edge of the frame. And here's where I'm trying to figure out how to put those in there, and I will figure it out. It's going to be a chore though, because everything's already stuck down and it's tiny and my fingers are fat and clumsy, and I'm trying to get it in there and struggling for real. But I do manage to get them on there, and they both stay. And yeah. When you work with such little pieces, they just never want to do what you want them to. But I finally got it. And, oh, here I am have decided, while I was tucking all that under, it's when I decided to back this in black. So I go ahead and pull up the piece of ephemera, and once I pull it up, it's not very sticky, so I went ahead and added some ATG adhesive there so it'd stick better. And this is where I'm adding all the glue to those cute little stars. And the stars, I believe, were from Pink Fresh, and I put them in there to use on the boys' layouts. But here I am using it on a girls' layout and with the Teen Spirit girls part. And I think this is about it. I think, oh yeah, since those look like paint brushed onto the layout, I decided I was going to put some paint splatters too. And those white letters, I thought, well, I might as well splatter on them. They usually look just white, and so I want them this time to look like they've got speckles of paint. And I'm going to use 3. The first one is Heidi Swapp in butter, and the second one that I just showed you is, I believe it's called Brilliant Turquoise, but it's not brilliant. It's kind of a dark turquoise. And then that one's Primrose from Heidi Swapp. So I do have 3 colors on there. And I was hoping the turquoise was lighter than what it was. I didn't think it was when I was putting it on. I was thinking, I remembered the last time I used it, it was darker than I expected. And yeah, even when it dries, it's still darker than I expected. But that's all right. I do have 3 colors on there, and that's what I was going for. And, oh, these are the hearts that I put in my kit, so I'd be sure and use some of them, because for a while I was buying them every time I went in Walmart. I think I've got several packages. And I do love them, so I don't have any problem whatsoever putting them on my layout. I just got to remember to do it. And I am going to sprinkle them here and there. And I didn't put them in clusters of 3 since I already had the stars in clusters of 3. I just sprinkled them here and there. But that's my layout. That's it. And if you look below, there'll be links to the other ladies that are in the YouTube layout hop. And you get to see what they recycle or upcycle. And it was fun creating something and using it that I would normally have thrown away. But yeah, I think it turned out great on this layout. And I love the colors. And yeah, one of the girls showed what she had in mind to use as a sneak peek, and I thought about doing that, but I never did get around to it. So check out the other videos below. I'm sure there'll be all kinds of great ideas. And mine was kind of plain Jane, yeah, because I didn't do any upcycling. Did with it. And it sure was easy to put my title down on those lines because I used the ones that were already there, which made that like awesome. Anyway, thanks again for watching. If you leave a comment below, I'll be sure to respond. If you like the video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, I'd love to have you as a subscriber to my channel. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a happy, scrappy week. Check the ladies out below. Bye.